Hi there, Victor Pross speaking to you, anarchist artist. Okay, today we're going to just take a little walk through some of my sketches, graphite pencil drawings, and just to do a little explanation of each and every one. I guess we got maybe about 3 or 4 here to talk about, and I hope you find it interesting. All right, here we have the Cape Crusader, Batman, who seems to be pretty much of the genetic freak in that he is a bat slash man, combination of two. And here off in the corner we have his sidekick Robin, of course, and you can see in this drawing that we have Robin drinking an alcohol beverage, and seems to have some of the a pot belly there. A little effeminate in his posture there, a hand on hip and leg crossed ever so gently, and of course going back up to Batman here, we have the Batman smoking a joint, don't you know, and his crest on his chest in this case is not the famous bat icon known to the comic book or to the TV show or the movies, of course, but the happy face, the smiley happy face, which I figure is nothing more than a I don't know, a kind of a my own twisted sense of humor, of a juxtaposition of you know, the ominous Batman crusader vigilante fighter against crime, you know, has a happy face on his as his crest, and show the complete drawings there. And here on the ground we seem to have a bat, an actual bat, who just can't seem to take flight, and he has a big question mark over his head regarding the freak that's above him that seems to be taking flight, but is of course is on hanging by cords. And now the whole thing with the smoking in the joint here, and with the Cape Crusader there having a drink. Why did I did that? Well, nothing more than that the Batman of popular fame, of course, is most especially as exemplified in the 1960s camp Batman show with Adam West. It was all so lighthearted and airy-fairy and sanitized, and it kind of like took out the guts, the darkness of the original conception of Batman. So I just wanted to return that, but more in my flavor of doing so. You know, in this case, a joint, like I say. And so just to have that juxtaposition of the campy 1960s sanitized version of Batman to the more rugged, great human flaws and follies at hand here. And so, yeah, that's just a little bit of fun of exploration with pencil drawings on that. And then we move on to another drawing where we have just your very standard white trash person. This is not a caricature of any famous person. It's completely from my imagination. And it kind of speaks for itself. We have somebody here who's a little grotesquely overweight, has the skull on her chest, the sign of death to come. And there she is in all her glorious white trashness. And she's munching on a cheeseburger, perhaps her third that day. And of course we have to be health conscious. If you don't watch your waist, nobody else will now. And I'll have another Diet Coke, please. So I find that kind of funny, that the whole weight obsession and whatnot, and people who are quasi committed to taking care of themselves just don't quite cut the grade. In fact, they ate it. And so I find that funny. I find it fucking hilarious. So I wanted to just pin that into a drawing, a quick sketch of showing the idiocy and the folly of this one example in the culture. And here we have a drawing that I call the welfare state. And of course the welfare state has all been prompted up as being very, you know, helping the poor so that people don't fall through the cracks. And it's rather benevolent, and this is the image, this is the idea, this is the bullshit that's being purported. But of course the reality is that the welfare state, as a matter of fact, is Venus flytrap that sucks the motivation out of people, where they reside into becoming dismotivated entitlement mentalities, and the poverty in which they still wallow because their motivation and purpose and drive in life has been sucked out of them by this entitlement mentality craze. You still see that they're living in squalor, and it's all quite deplorable. There she is, the woman, little hairs on her belly. She's got another baby, another onion in the bun. But maybe that'll mean a further increase in the welfare check. Women having babies because they want the state to be the provider. And here we have the father in the frame, of course, but who knows, before long he'll be a fuck-off dad and abandon his kid, who's pretty much a chip off the old block there as well. And so you have that drawing called the welfare state. And then moving on, here we have, of course, we have the caricature, so to speak, of the anarchist. There's the famous anarchist icon symbol on the chest there. You think that he might be, the whole idea is, of course, is that he might be holding a flamethrower, ready to chuck it through a Starbucks window, but instead, what do we find? Oh, it's a flower! Peace, peace, anarchy, you see, is all about peace, contrary to the image of this rather brutish, roguish individual right here. And then here we do have a famous person, one of my favorite actors. We are talking about, yes, Jack Nicholson. Behold Jack Nicholson, the famous Jokerish grin. He's always fun to draw and paint. And then moving along, we have Ernest Hemingway. I'm not particularly a fan of the man's work, but what the hell? I saw his picture. He's a famous writer, Ernest Hemingway. So I just thought that I would give him a quick do-over. So there you go. That's Anarchist Artist Victor Pross signing out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, if you enjoy me showing off these works, let me know. Bye-bye.